It's my pleasure to introduce the great state senator from Brooklyn, Marty Golden.
How are we doing today? We sound like we are on fire. We're out there doing God's work today, right? Talking to these legislators to make sure they do the right thing for charter schools, right? Right? Is Brooklyn in the house here? Wow. Is Queens in the house here? Queens is still coming through the security check. Is Staten Island in the house? They're still, oh, we got one hand back there. Is the Bronx in the house? How about New York City? Is the city in the house? Oh. Now, listen, education's the number one thing. We live in the greatest city in the greatest nation in the world. And we need the ability not to be number 29 in a nation, as a nation, in education, 29th in the world. We need to be number one in the country. Therefore, that makes us number one, God willing, very shortly, because the best practices that we get out of public, private, parochial, charter, homeschool, and we do that across this wonderful, wonderful state. And we take those best practices. We take the best practices of all of those different components of education, and we create the greatest educational program in the country and in the world. Can we do that? Can we do that? Should we do that? And that's why we're going to talk to each and every one of our elected officials to make sure that they do what is right. Right? Listen, we need one thing in this great city and state. It's called choice. We need choice in education so that we can send our kids, my kids, to the best schools that I think that my child can excel in. Every child and every family is different. We have to be able to give the family, give the parent the opportunity to take that star, that child that God has given them, and let them get the best possible education for those children. Is that what we're doing here today? Is that what we're doing here today? Is that what we're doing here today? Now, the governor has done in his budget, I see he's changed the reimbursable from 20 to 30%. He's unfrozen the fiscal aid. He's lifted the cap, which I think is really good. There's about 181 charters left, which means they could all go to New York City because we've lifted that cap. There's only one problem. It's called the mayor of the city of New York. Mayor of the city of New York is not letting us into the building so that we can get a charter school opened and up and running. We need charter schools for another 100,000 kids in the city of New York, and we need the mayor of the city of New York and the city council open up those buildings and let us in so that we can get a real education for our kids. That's what we need to do. So I know that that is a commitment that I am making to you to work with the charter schools so that the mayor of the city of New York listens to us and gives us that opportunity. I think it's very, very important that we have choice. I think it's very, very important that we have opportunity. And if we live in the greatest city and the greatest nation in the world, why can't we have the greatest education that this world can offer? You are our future. Each and every one of you kids here today are the future of this great city, this state, this nation. And God knows where you'll be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years from now. You're going to be inventors, doctors, police officers. You'll be running industries. You'll be running Wall Street. You'll be doing everything to make this city and this state and this nation to be what it is. And yes, there's future senators amongst you, future congressmen amongst us. And yes, very possibly, a president of the United States of America right here in this very room. Is that possible? Is that possible? It's possible if, in fact, we get that choice. If we motivate our children and we have that choice and we have the ability to open up these buildings and get the kids into these buildings and get that education, nothing can stop us. And nothing will. Just the drive that I see here today, the drive in each and every one of you parents, the motivation that you have, and what you've already done for your child. I gotta tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, you should be proud of this great, great movement, because you're not only helping yourselves and your families, but you're helping thousands and thousands of other families and children across this great city. So give yourselves a real great round of applause. Come on, come on, come on. So we need to do just a handful of things, right? We need to get $55 million in tuition support for our kids, and we're going to push hard to double that, because it's important for 2017 that we have money going into the schools. We don't have money going into schools, we can't reach our goals, right? Great to have a building, but we need to put teachers in those buildings. We need to be able to give the parents the ability to put their kids in those schools. So we're going to go in there to do that. And increase the supplemental aid, tuition aid, by $10 million, which the governor does do, and I do believe that we will do the same thing in our budget. So there are a couple of things that we are going to do to make sure that we have the opportunity for each and every one of your families to be successful. We are the best. We the best? We are the... We are the... And we live in New York City, and we live in... And we are the best city in the world. We are the best city in the... I tell you, you got the education, you guys pick it right up. You are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, 2017 is going to be the best year yet for charters. We're going to make sure that that happens. We're going to make sure that the cap has been lifted. We're going to make sure that the kids have the opportunity to get into those public schools, and we're going to make sure that those public schools are made available to us. And if not, the money is made there to funding if we have to go outside the public school system, that the money is there to open up these schools. We're going to do that? Are we going to make it happen? I can't hear you back there. Are we going to make it happen? I can't hear you back there. We're going to make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, give this organization a round of applause for the great work and the great success you have here today. You're getting a great education today in understanding what a senator does, what an assemblyman does, and what a governor does. So we want you to take that education. Today's a real educational day where you get the opportunity to actually talk to educators and to talk to legislators at the same time, which is really, really good. That's cool, right? Cool, right? Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Do what you had to do. Get your message out there. Make sure they understand why we're here, and make sure you don't leave this building until you get commitments from both the Assembly and the Senate to do what we need to get done to get more charter schools and more kids into charter schools. God bless you all. Have a safe trip home. God bless your families, and God bless our charter school movement. Thank you.